So I'm listening to Tony Robbins, and he's talking about, we're in the car business, so he's talking about RPMs. So write these 3 things down. For R, RPMs. R is the result. What is it that you're looking to accomplish this month? What does your June look like? What is it that you want? Your purpose. Why? What is the goal? So the reasons have to come first. The second one is going to be answers. They come second. So R is the result. P is purpose, which is why. Why do we want it? And M stands for massive action plan. So Tony says, what is it that you're going to do? What will get you there? What's your A plan? What's your B plan? What's your C plan? And what are all the excuses that you've got to set aside to be able to get there? So I want to talk about a few successful people. Henry Ford once said, whether you think you can or you cannot, you were right. Walt Disney was told that he lacked imagination, that he had no original ideas. Obviously, Troy is learning that is not the case right now, because Troy's at Disney. Hungry people have a vision of leaving a legacy, not liabilities. Albert Einstein was told Albert Einstein could not speak until he was 4. His teacher said that he would never amount to anything, and he eventually developed the theory of relativity, which some of us don't really understand. It's a big word. If you do it as easy, life will always be hard, but if you do it as hard, life will be easy. And what they mean by that, what I've taken from that, is the things that are hard. It's hard to walk into a customer and say that the car that they think is worth $15,000, you're going to show them $2,400, and Grant's going to show you why. That's hard, but the things that come after that make it a lot easier. Thomas Edison, does everyone know who Thomas Edison is? Was fired for spilling acid on the floor of his employer. Later, it is said that he tried over 6,000 fibers before succeeding in creating the light bulb. He was asked, how does it feel to have failed so many times? And he looked at the guy and said, son, I haven't failed. I have simply discovered other ways not to invent the light bulb. Right? So if nothing around you changes, change the things that are around you. Michael Jordan was cut from his basketball team. He once said, I have missed over 9,000 shots in life. I've lost over 300 games. I've been trusted to take the game-winning shot, and I have missed. I have failed over and over, and that is exactly why I succeed. Stephen King was rejected 30 times for his book, Carrie. Do you guys know, does anyone like horror films? Because Carrie's a great one. It's kind of, yeah. All right. Marilyn Monroe was told she should have been a secretary. She probably should have taken that advice. But there's a documentary on her recently. Oprah Winfrey was lost a child at 14. She was fired from a news company because she was told she couldn't sever her emotions from her stories. And that's exactly who Oprah is. It's all about emotion with her. She's amazing. Elvis Presley was told he should return to being a truck driver. Dr. Seuss was rejected 27 times by publishers. When you make the choice to turn back and take a look at what's comfortable, and decide that that's not where you want to be at, that safe and comfortable is not where you want to be at, that's day one. So if you look at sports, we're talking about sports. In sports, most of the most successful people there come from what? Nothing. Most of your most famous athletes come from nothing. And it's because they've decided that this is the one single thing that they're good at, and they're going to go after it. They have nothing else. It's the one thing. So you must put yourself, there was a saying, I love this, you must put yourself through failure because it is the most feedback that you will get. So it's really easy to know, hey, pat on the back, great job, but when you fail, it's something that you take with you for a lifetime. So it's something huge. Christina Dennis, our very own Christina, was told she was crazy for leaving all of her family in Atlanta. Christina has absolutely no family here in Kansas City. And she came to Kansas City. She is the mother of 2 and defying all odds, having the work ethic Thurl was talking about. She could only dream of selling to where she's at. She sold 45 in March, 28 in April, and then last month she sold, Clint and her sold 40. They had several carryovers, ended up with 34 on the deal, so that was huge. Our very own leader, Carlos, was told at a young age that he would never amount to anything, that he should give up on his dreams and focus on laborious work. Years later, he continued his dream, and I had the privilege of watching his reaction as he lost everything, to include our only means for transportation. Over 20 banks refused to even consider him for purchasing cable Dahmer on Nolan Road. We would come to know and love this dealership as our #1 Chevy store. Carlos Ledezma was given every chance to throw up his hands and say they were right. But he didn't. Instead, we stand in a room based on one man's decision to say, bring it on. Failure is not an option. It lives everywhere, and he has changed us because Carlos said no to mediocrity. People who are hungry will do the things that others won't in order to have things that others won't. So my question is, are you living with purpose? Are you living with discipline? Are you living with intent? Excuses sound best to the ones who are making them up. Change your mind and you will change your life. Welcome to June.